I saw the planes and I thought it was pretty badass.
My first flight was in a Cessna, so compared to a Sling, it's like, oh my god. I just fell in love.
That helped me make my decision very quick.
I'm gonna cry now. It was emotional.
Hey Slingers, it's Matthew from Sling Pilot Academy. This week we're going to sit down with a few of our students for an interview for Hispanic Heritage Month. Stay tuned to see how they got into aviation, how it's going for them so far, and what advice they have for you. Enjoy the video.
My name is Josh Ortuño. I'm working on my PPL right now.
Hi, my name is Seba, and I'm working on my private pilot license.
Hi, my name is Valerie Laguna, and I'm working on my private pilot's license.
Hi, my name is Alisher Gonzalez, and I'm working on my private pilot license.
How did you get started in aviation? Like, what got you interested in it?
I got started in aviation. I have kind of always had an interest in aviation. I just never really considered it an actual career for myself. I'd done some research in the past, but I had never done enough research, or the research that I'd done was always very limited. But being older and being already in a career myself, I came to a point where I was unhappy, and I just didn't want to do what I was doing for the rest of my life. So I did a little bit of career research, and I landed back in aviation, and that's when I started to do a little bit more research. I was a little bit more mature. My finances were much better than I was as a younger person, so it just seemed like a more realistic goal, and so I just decided to go full send on this.
I Googled and I took a couple of discovery flights at different schools, and I walked in here and I saw the planes and I thought it was pretty badass, like, because it wasn't like an old airplane. And I said, I want to fly this. Yeah, and I guess the rest is history. I also, worked at the airport, so for me, and I also love traveling, so it was a no-brainer for me in that aspect, especially since I have family all over the world. So I was like, yo, like, this would be a good situation, be a pilot.
For me, I always thought as a child, I want to travel the world, I want to find new heights, and then once I got into high school, I was like, what am I going to do with my life? And then I actually found out about Sling through a program that my high school had at the LAX Museum pathway. I decided to take a discovery flight, and my first flight was in a Cessna, so compared to a Sling, it's like, oh my god. I just fell in love.
I used to have a job that I was not happy with. I was doing it for so long, and I told myself I can't do this for the rest of my life. I needed something that gave me more excitement. I just wanted to look forward to a career change. So I looked into like things that I like. So first of all, I'm a big fan of like travel, adventure, just trying new things. And I kept going back, like what is the field that I could get into? And pilot, like I went to go do a flight discovery, and that got me hooked. As soon as I got that, I said, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm gonna do.
No, I don't think I've experienced any conflict in that regard. I mean, I'm very early on in my I guess progression in aviation, so I haven't really had to deal too much with any sort of obstacles just yet. I don't know.
But that's why we're here. You know what I mean? We're adding flavor to the skies. After all, they all fly to where we live and vacation and raise. So we eventually hope to fly for a lot of these places that fly to our countries or places that we speak the language of. And so
yeah, I think Sling's a very inclusive place. They go out of their way to make everybody feel included by having events, interviews like this one where we focus on certain cultures, certain identities. Sling's Instagram is very inclusive of different types of people. They show everyone's accomplishments, and that's a really good thing that I was, impressed by, because it really showed what the demographic was like here at Sling.
Before the first day of Sling, I was a little nervous about my role here at Sling. I know it wasn't gonna affect my actual training, but more of how I would interact with others. Once I got to Sling and I started the training, I really had no fear or doubt. It was really easy to get along with other people, male, female, Hispanic, Asian, it didn't matter. And I'm also really glad and thankful to be part of the 4% of females in aviation.
I can say I haven't really had like barriers, but I didn't have really anybody to send me in a direction, to influence me, or to look up to, because like Hispanics in general don't really go into this field, so you don't really see like someone to look up to. So for like me paving the way, maybe for the next generation, or for like Hispanics around me, does kind of inspire me in a way for aviation.
I found Sling Pilot Academy through a friend who's a CFI here. He's actually my CFI now. His name is Patrice. So as soon as I, was kind of committed or decided on this field, I gave him a quick phone call, and he was my liaison from my interest to actually enrolling here at Sling. And he's been my guide, my mentor throughout this process up until now.
I found Sling Pilot Academy after visiting like 10 schools. When I got to fly with Jean, the planes were updated, the avionics are dope, and the energy here was just fun, and vibrant and high energy. And I was just like, yo, I gotta do this. This is flipping dope.
I found Sling through the 200 hours intro flight, so that's when I came here and I decided to do it. The cost of the academy is a large difference from other schools, and that's also really amazing for the amount of focus and training that we're getting here at Sling.
I was going to another school in El Monte called. I didn't really like it just because I wanted it to go an accelerated program. So I was looking into. Then I found out about Sling online, and it had like way more resources from what I could tell, and it was affordable, which was great. And that helped me make my decision very quick, and I signed up and haven't looked back. And actually, I'm very happy that I made that decision. They have their own mechanics, which is great. They build their own planes, and it has a great environment. We have a little gym right here, which is pretty cool. What I saw that I liked is that you start with like a group, and you're starting together, and you go to classes together, you study together. It's like a great support system.
It's nice that we start off in a group environment where we get to build community and build friendships so that you can study with each other. Whereas other schools, they kind of seem to give off the idea that it's kind of like you do it on your own. You figure it out on your own. Versus Sling, they I guess like a cohort type of sense where everybody is succeeding together. Everyone wants to see each other succeed versus like a dog-eat-dog world. So yeah, that's also one of the selling points that brought me to Sling.
Every time everyone does a little accomplishment, we all like congratulate each other, which is so huge. That was the first time I experienced that. I'm like, when I was in university, no one, like I did a test, no one congratulated me. It was like, that was it. But here at Sling, which is like, makes you feel good for every step that you're taking.
The most memorable flight that I've had, unfortunately it wasn't with my CFI, I think he was out that day, but I went to San Bernardino with a different instructor. We did a cross-country flight, and I live in Corona, so Corona is between Torrance and San Bernardino, so I asked if we could fly over my house. He said it was cool, so we came down low enough where it was still, allowed. I was able to text my family, and I told them to come outside. I told them I was going to be flying over in like the next 5 or 10 minutes. So they went in the backyard, and I was able to locate my house from the air. And yeah, I got to have my parents see me in flight over our house. So yeah, they recorded me. It was very emotional for me. I'm gonna cry now. It was emotional. I can't explain it. It just felt so nice to. It felt really incredible to have my parents see me, because they've been kind of my biggest support in this process. So being able to show them firsthand, have them see me in the air, was very special. And yeah, that's been one of the most memorable experiences in flights that I've had here at Sling.
I think I can't stop that. But no, I think for me, one of my just doing landings. It's the adrenaline, when you're doing the landings and you're just about to pull up and you get your psych picture That's for me is like the high. Is when we're about to land and you're just kind of like, all right, set it up, and that's it for me, for now.
I would have to say my most memorable flight might have been the very first flight ever. Like, it was that moment where I knew I wanted to do this till I retire, or even past that. It was the adrenaline, the view, the avionics, like just everything. The whole entire cockpit was it was magical. And I think just that first flight was all I needed to fall in love even more.
So far, it's still limited. I'm still starting the program, but I can say, like every morning that I go up in the air and I'm over the clouds and it feels like I'm in heaven. Sometimes I have to just give the controls to my instructor and just like marvel at how beautiful it is and how lucky I am to be in that situation. And it just like to take in that moment, it's beautiful. Like you need to experience it for yourself if you wanna see what I'm talking about.
And then the view when you're flying over the ocean, there's nothing more peaceful than that too. Because whatever issues you may have prior to flight, like it's peaceful.
The first time that I had perfect landings all day was just like, whew. It was just a great accomplishment. So I would say for anybody looking to get into aviation, go take your intro flight, do your research, find something that you know is going to benefit you in the long run. If you're considering Sling, come in, talk to the students, talk to the instructors, ask them what they think firsthand. That's the only way you're really gonna know, is if you throw yourself into the deep end and find out for yourself.
Have fun and focus and study.
If you're like just considering it, like the first step, just take a flight discovery, and then from there, as soon as you get hooked, you could do more research. Just don't be scared. Most of us are scared of a change, scared of a big leap, but in my opinion, it's like sometimes you just gotta go for it.
I think that's it. That's all the rest can do. Thank you.
So don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment. It really helps us with our channel. We really appreciate it.